Let's have a picnic. Welcome to Community News. My name is Paul.
And my name is Sasha.
Hello there, Sasha. How are you today?
Hello. I'm feeling so chirpy when I heard you say the word picnic. I love a picnic.
I know. I figured you already had a picnic at the bonfire on Saturday night. How did it go? Anything get burned? I didn't hear any fire alarms, so it must have gone okay.
Well, there were a few concerns. There were people roasting marshmallows and making s'mores, as one does in the summer. And there were several times that there were actually lifeguards, can you believe it, with their whistles. They hired lifeguards in addition to the local Townport police force. They were whistling at people in their face every time they started to do a s'more because they were worried about more burning out of the field. So it was kind of hilarious, except nobody was there with a sense of humor except me to laugh at it with. I wish you were there because I was sort of laughing. These teenage lifeguards were getting in people's face, right, whistling over s'more making. But Taco Loco truck was there.
Good.
And I was able to support them. And they told me they loved our show about Insanity Taco and Bipolar 2 Taco. And they said that they thought it was so funny and they appreciated our support.
So they were the one. Perfect.
Yep. And I asked them if Bipolar 2 Taco is going to have its own food truck soon, and they thought that was funny, and they thought maybe somebody should start it as a lark, you know,
or maybe they could just put it on their menu, a bipolar taco in tribute to Community News.
That's true. I'm going to call them and ask them.
Please do that right away.
They thought it might be funny to have the dueling food trucks, taco food trucks, now that they can't be a dueling standalone restaurant.
I just would rather have our own creation dedicated to us. Whatever nonsense they put together, it would be a Community News, whatever you say taco.
This is the first, you just lit a light bulb in my brain. In 4 years of doing this show, I've never thought about the fact that we should actually be asking places that we patron to do that. I go to this other place all the time, Screaming Goat, little shout out, amazing tacos. I'm going to start asking places if they would name one. That would be so cool.
It would be wonderful. All right, so the town survived the bonfire. Hooray, hooray.
I will tell you something humorous that happens there. They wanted to do the, not the Pledge of Allegiance, but they wanted to sing, you know, "Oh Say, Can You See?"
Right. You mean the Star Spangled Banner, the thing that we sing before every sporting event known to man? That thing that escaped your mind, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, maybe because I don't go to sports events. I couldn't think of the name. No, it's because I'm getting old. I would have known the name of that like 3 years ago. Now things
3 years ago you would have known it, but now you don't. Is that what you're saying?
In the past 3 years, I see serious mental decline where I can't think of a certain word. So we better get a lot of shows taped because 3 years from now I might be totally senile. But anyway,
those might be more interesting shows at that point, though.
Maybe I'll finally reveal what happened on that Club Med trip where I met Judge Judy.
Whenever fans are pining away to hear that story.
Yes, whenever the repeat plays, fans write, what really happened? What's the rest of the Club Med story? So maybe when I'm senile, Sasha, I can just let all those stories go. Imagine me in the home one day, like those nurses' aides are going to get an earful. Don't you think?
Those nurses, forget about, what about the other patients there or residents?
So they won't be taking it in, you know?
Yeah.
But I will say
they'll be taking it in. I don't even know what that means.
I hope not. I sure hope not. It sounds like elder abuse. But so there is a little controversy over the Star Spangled Banner. Thank you for the name. What was the one with the rockets red glare?
Right.
Anyway, so some people, the first selectman of town thought it would be nice if we sang it since this was like the first big summer event, you know, since the Memorial Day parade. Other people were challenging that because they feel that the Star Spangled Banner now is like political and it represents only one side. And they were like, what are you talking about? This is the official song of America. And then other people were arguing that like it's a bad song because the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air. They're like, it's too violent. We shouldn't be singing it in front of the children. So there was like a 20-minute live debate in front of all of us of people that were pro Star Spangled Banner and people that were anti-Star Spangled Banner. And it ended up, they said, okay, let's just try to make everyone happy. We're not going to sing that. And they sang Mary Had a Little Lamb in a chorus of everybody singing it because they thought like maybe no one will get offended. And sure enough, vegans like you spoke up and said, I don't really like talking about the lamb like that.
All I can say is I'm glad I just stayed in my air-conditioned house and watched TV on Saturday night. That's all I have to say.
There with me at these funny moments because you would be dying laughing with me, and instead I have to tell you the stories on the show, but it was funny.
Well, thank you for regaling me with the story. And once again, as I said, I made the right move by staying home. So picnics coming up. Yes, picnic tables. There's a new edict. I guess edict is the right word to put down. You need to have a permit to get a picnic table at the park these days. You can't just set up your crap on the table and expect to sit there. They are now permit ready. It is $5 to reserve a table, a picnic table these days. So make sure to go down to Town Hall and get your picnic tables.
Fancy. Picnics used to be something people could do for free and count on as free entertainment. Now we're even paying for that. I guess those are COVID things that are going to stay around. Like they realized it's nice to be more organized. So people are going to have to reserve the picnic table.
Right. Well, I could see you getting there with your whole clan and, on a weekday or a weekend getting ready to picnic and all the tables being taken and throwing a fit somewhere and having somebody thrown off a table or something along those lines.
I do not throw fits. I do not throw fits. If anything, I just sit back quietly observing like a lamb, speaking of Mary, and then I only throw a fit when somebody starts with me. And after they start with me a lot and won't back down, then I'm like, okay, here it goes. I don't start there. I'm not like a 0 to 60 person.
Right.
I keep it really, really, 15, 20, 22.5. But at a certain point, I'm going to go full on, Brooklyn Sasha.
So how come you went from 15, 20 to 22.5 and not up to 25? I don't understand where the progression is. It just get lower and lower as you get higher and higher?
I try to keep the anger and all of it just like, at a low, like tell myself, okay, they're really being an asshole. Okay, I'm going to keep it at this. Okay, just a little more anger. And then finally I just go full on like rhythm.
Yeah, and I'm sure nothing like that would ever happen when there were full picnic tables and people running around and something along those lines. No, nothing would ever set you off.
Like I just suddenly would start yelling at people. It would only happen if, let's say we put our stuff down on an empty table and somebody said to me, oh, we're reserving that. And I'm like, what do you mean? You can't reserve it. And if they're like, well, we're reserving it for friends that are on their way. And I'd be like, but you're not allowed to do that.
How about if you were there with your family and somebody in your family said, oh, I thought we had a table? That wouldn't set you off at that point?
Okay. Well, you're talking about something different. You're talking about interfamilial setting off. Yes, that happens frequently.
Exactly. So like I said, that's
girl.
something we should charge admission for. Say that you have a picnic table reserved and then have somebody sitting there and watch your reaction. That I would pay to watch.
Not just me, the whole town. That would be a good hidden camera to see everyone how they react.
Like, yeah, but you especially. Let's face it.
No, I don't go off more than other people. Listen, as we discussed, I just watched Johnny Depp Amber Heard. This girl can't talk without like twitching, making faces. She gets crazy over everything. I mean, I think, honestly, Paul, I think I take a lot of shit in life and keep it bottled. It's just at some point, I mean, everybody's got an explosion point.
That is the key to that statement. You have a lot of shit bottled up. And once that bottle explodes, it's like Mount Vesuvius spewing lava all over the place.
You're right. Do you think if I held it in less, like my sister-in-law tells me, she'll tell people right off in the moment. She doesn't take as much shit as I do.
Yes. The answer is yes.
You think if I just told people right in the moment, I would have less of a Mount Vesuvius?
Correct.
Really? Because I always think if I was to tell everyone in the moment, I would be telling every single person off all day long. Just like how you feel, like how you're very, how everything annoys you.
Right.
I feel like if I told everyone every time I thought they were doing something that annoyed me, it would just be too much. So I hold back. But yeah, then when it gets really egregious, I'm like, oh, okay. Somebody hold my non-existent beer and I have to kick an old lady out of my house because she's rude to me as a guest in my own fucking house. Remember that one?
Perfect. It's so wonderful. It's great.
Like, do I have to be nicer to her just because she's some old broad? I don't even know her. Like, do I have to be nice because she's in her 70s or 60s and being a total biatch? Like, at some point, do I get to be like, you know what? I'm not that much younger than you. Get the fuck out of my house. You're not a nice invited guest.
I would just like to thank you for proving my point in the fact that you would go insane at the picnic table. Thank you. Case closed.
God forbid this should be our last show. Who knows what could happen? I could get struck by lightning in the summer storms. God forbid this should be our last show. I felt like I needed to get a few curses in because I've been very G-rated lately, and I wanted to just be full circle.
God forbid you could be walking on a sidewalk in the street and trip as usual. God forbid something like that happens, and yet another wrist is broken.
God forbid I'm coming down the stairs and I miss one and I face plant on the floor. You're right. Like it's such a strange tragedies that happen to me that give me these physical injuries.
Anyway, just want to wish everybody happy Father's Day. This Sunday is Father's Day for everybody out there. Happy Father's Day to your significant other, your hubby.
So nice that you just give it a happy Father's Day. I always feel the need to say a few. Happy Father's Day to all the amazing fathers out there like you, Paul. Happy Father's Day to the real dads who put the time and the effort in and the love and pour all of their energies into their children. You deserve a happy Father's Day. And then I always feel the need to say, and not a happy Father's Day, to all the shit deadbeat dads out there who don't do anything for their kids, who barely see their kids, who are literally not supportive emotionally, certainly not financially. And that's why we have so many assholes in the world, because we have all these broken families. So thank you, deadbeat dads, and happy non-Father's Day to you. You don't get to celebrate it if you're a shitty dad. So I always feel the need to say that. Thank you for
And with that PSA, that wraps up this episode of Community News. And
so choose. Sorry, choose to be a good dad.
And as always, my name is Paul.
And as always, my name is Summertime Sasha.
Summertime Sasha. I will speak to you again next week.
I certainly hope so. I will see you next Tuesday, Paul. We love you, community.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.